Hello, everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube. I am Eric Tate alongside Nick Lacapo. Welcome to the Cool Box Live. Nick, you are looking mighty sharp this evening.
Do I look sharper?
Oh yeah, you look
Just,
quite a bit sharper.
Just a few settings on my computer that I fidgeted with, and we got it figured out now. We look a little better in here.
Yeah. Tonight's going to be a really, really fun show. We've got some great products in the Cool Box, but we've got some cool videos to show off to people. We did a couple more unboxing videos so people can see some cool stuff. Let's take a look at the chat right here. We've got Robert Vaughn from Ventura watching. We got Mr. McMahon from Connecticut. Hungry is here, giving us the usual cheers. And we've got John Green. Hungry already asking questions. Yo, Eric, I ended up buying the arrangement download and left a review. Good work. Thanks so much. That project was so much fun to put out. It was
that's the guy that downloaded it.
Yeah, that's the one guy.
No, that's great. Thanks for picking that up. That was the whole story behind that thing, Eric. It's pretty fun, actually.
Yeah.
To be.
Yeah, that's maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show between the big deals. We got Scott Smith, who's actually excited because I'm actually going to be doing a virtual lecture for IBM Ring 1 in St. Louis on Tuesday, and or actually Wednesday. So it's going to
Ring number 1, huh?
Ring number 1, yeah, that's the big one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big supporter of the IBM, so I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, is that the in St. Louis? You said?
Yeah, in St. Louis. That's the one that does all the big stuff.
Yeah, that's a big club down there. They get a lot of great magicians down there.
Yeah, we got some other questions. John Hayes is curious why are some expensive magic tricks that come out have restrictions like not being able to have rights using them. That's a really good question that I think we should address a little bit later. Maybe remind us.
It is interesting.
Rights usage is an interesting conversation to have.
I mean, I know that we've never actually. I can't think of a trick on Penguin that has that restriction. It's not something that we've ever crossed that bridge on. No artist we've ever worked with has requested such a thing. I would imagine it's more of the artist's request as opposed to the company's request.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just, we can maybe talk about it later.
And it's gonna be a lot of really fun stuff to talk about today. Should we get into the very first thing, Nick?
Yeah, I guess if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the show. We give out great deals on awesome magic on penguinmagic.com. And everything in the show is discounted, 25% off or more. And in fact, I think, if you want to get started with the massive savings of the week, we can get right into that.
Yeah, I just put it up on the screen. It is Richard Osterland's 13 Steps to Mentalism is in the Cool Box this week. And is it in right now?
Well, it's not in the Cool Box right now. Basically, you can go to penguinmagic.com right now. Add 24, the 13 Steps to Mentalism DVD set to your cart. And if you put in our promo code CoolBoxLive, you'll save 25%, which is $60 off of the Richard Osterland DVD set.
This is a crazy set. It's basically Richard Osterland going through the 13 steps of mentalism and teaching them in individual lessons, but then also updating where he's got some stuff that or like Richard had specific work or things that have been advanced since 13 Steps was originally put out. It's a monster set of DVDs. How many? Is there 5 DVDs or is it 8 DVDs? It's a huge disc.
I meant to grab it from the studio.
I was in the studio earlier today filming the lecture, and I should have picked it up.
Yeah, it comes in a really nice little package, and it's at least 4 DVDs, right? This might have been the last DVD project that we published. So it's like modern packaging and everything. It's a really nice thing to have on your shelf, but also as a reference because Richard just goes over this is one of those things, Eric, which I just wish I like doing magic, but if you just gave me this DVD set 15 years ago, I would have never had to buy anything else.
You would have become a mentalist if you'd had this 15 years ago.
It's the type you just buy this and that's it. You're done. You don't have to. There's no question that you need answered about mentalism that's not covered in this course. So for $60 off, it's a huge deal, which is why we put it at the top of the show tonight.
He even goes into the steel blindfold stuff, and Richard's steel blindfold is amazing. But there's so much good stuff. Yeah, Hungry in the chat saying you could make a career off of this DVD set. John Green commenting on YouTube, I think it's 4 DVDs, and Mark DiTullio on Facebook. Always good to see you, Mark. Yeah, we should have just asked Mark. He's basically our unofficial mod. It is 4 DVDs, but it's also you can get it as digital downloads if you like to watch it on your iPad or your iPhone or something like that. And it is just a tremendous amount of information. So good.
Yeah, super. I mean, when we say everything, we mean everything. Billets, blindfold work, muscle reading, peak device, like every aspect of mentalism is covered in this course.
Yeah.
And there's live performances in front of a real audience. There's hypnotism. There's all sorts of stuff in here. So it's probably the most comprehensive mentalism course on the market.
The other thing, and I sort of glossed over this in the beginning, that I think is really important because I just saw it in the video playing between us, is there's some very good updates to this. It's in the same vein as a lot of the Tarbell stuff that Dan did, where Richard took a look at some of the stuff in the original 13 Steps and was like, we don't use like bow ties, and like no one wears like top hats on the reg. So he's got some updated stuff. Like he's got a couple of things with calendars and cell phones and things like that that are like more modernized, right. Which is it's good. Like there is something to be said about the original material, but also some of that original material you just can't do. Like Chemical Magic is a great example of like there's some stuff you just can't get access to anymore. No. And Richard has done that with some of this mentalism stuff, which is good. And
$60 off.
$60 off. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Got a really good question that Nick, you might be able to answer. 90 Day Fiance in the YouTube chat asking, can you buy the metal blindfold?
I think they are sold out right now.
Yeah.
However, if you reached out to Richard, or I know he's got like an online store, he might have some on there because you never know. I don't know how often I don't know what he has to do to get those made, you know? So, but Richard's a great guy. He would get right back to you. So I would just reach out to him on his website, and if he has one, he'll sell it to you.
Yeah. We had Richard into film end of 2018, a lot of those effects, or end of 2019, a lot of those effects came out in 2020, and he was super great guy, and I had to reach out to him in the process of completing those, and he's a Johnny on the spot with stuff like that. So
if
you should definitely reach out to him.
If you get one of those blindfolds, get it.
They're so good.
I mean, that's definitely one of those things that I don't think he's making them. I mean, maybe he has some, but one of those things that I don't think gets remade, in the future. So if you want one, track it down and keep an eye out on eBay and stuff for it if he doesn't have any.
Nick, I think this is a fantastic time to move on from this because this is something that's super good, but let's get to the deals of the week. And I am super excited about the things that we're going to be talking about today because the first one is, this is very exciting. This is Grab Bag by Rick Lax. So Nick and I did like an in-depth discussion of this. We were in the studio earlier this week taking a look at them, taking them out of the package so you can see what it is. But we don't want to give away any methods on this show, obviously, because a lot of the people who could watch this may not be magicians. But what's first, before we break down what it is, I think everybody should take a look at a performance of this. So I think what we have...
Hey, Eric Tate here alongside my buddy Nick.
Oops, sorry about that. I had the wrong thing queued up there. Let's go ahead and take a look at a performance of Grab Bag by Rick Lax.
Growing up, we did presents in my family a little different. We did it grab bag style, where you just had to reach in whatever gift you touched first, you had to take. And you weren't allowed to feel around to try to get the one you wanted, you just had to reach one and take it. And I always got the gift that I wanted, but I'm not gonna tell you how I did it. Instead, I can show you kind of what it looks like. But I don't have gifts, so we're gonna use these pennies to represent different gifts. And you can see they really are different. Every penny has a different design on it, and it's got the same design on the back and on the front. There's 20 or 30 different pennies. So go ahead, drop them all into the bag there.
Okay. That's cool.
Now you guys are all gonna take out a gift. Grab bag style, you're just gonna reach in, take one out. But when you take it out, don't do it like this so everyone can see. Keep it closed in your hand so there's no way I can see which one you took, okay? So reach in there, take out a penny. Reach in, take out a penny. Take one out, keep your hand closed. Okay?
Yep.
So now, wait till I get turned around and then look at what your penny design is and show it to everyone else, okay? So go ahead, look at your penny design, show it to everyone.
Oh,
Got it?
yep.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back. All right, drop your penny in. It's good, drop your penny in. Drop your penny in. Now I'm gonna try to find your pennies. But first, I want you to know that I'm not seeing these, so we gotta close my eyes. Can you put your hand over my eyes so there's no way I can see it? I know that's kind of strange.
No, it's all right.
Okay. And now you have to tell me what was on the design of your pennies.
A.
It was what?
It was an A.
The letter A.
Yes.
Okay.
Mine had 1 dot.
1 dot, A. What was on yours?
Mine had 3 dots.
Okay, so 1 dot, 3 dots, and an A. Did I get it?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Got it.
What the hell? Okay, hold on. Bruh! Darn! All right, one
This is
more.
the last one. This is the hardest one. Nothing in my hand.
Jesus Christ, you did it.
Did I
Dude, there it is.
Hey, Nick, that was pretty cool. So that's a trick that Rick Lax has come up with pennies, and want to address a couple of things here in the chat. John Hayes mentions that Canada has no pennies anymore, which would make this trick difficult. Fortunately, John, you don't need pennies to do this trick. That is just one of the options that Rick is talking about in there. And this is a really interesting trick. I think we should probably let people see what it is.
Yeah, for sure. We broke it all down in a short video so that you guys know exactly what's going on. So
Let's
take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Nick Lacapo, and this is my friend Eric Tate, and we're here to talk about Grab Bag by Rick Lax. What this is essentially a forcing bag, a clear forcing bag where you're going to learn some routines from Rick and also just some other ways that you can use it. What we have here is the product, and we also busted out a couple of the bags so that you guys could see what they actually look like and what you'll get when you pick up Grab Bag by Rick Lax. So Eric, you've got one filled up over here with some playing cards.
Yeah, I really like this. This is just a neat way to force something. So you could force playing cards, coins. I know a lot of mentalists use forcing bags like this to force pieces of paper with like already known words on it. There's years ago I used one to do a trick with a puzzle that was a lot of fun. But this is a lot of fun because you can show people that there's all kinds of random cards in the bag.
Do it up over here so
yeah,
they
yeah.
can
So
see.
you do that, and then you can shake it up. Like this, and then Nick, if I was to ask you to just dive in there and pull a card out,
Yep. Well, let me get one of these.
and I'll look away while
Yep,
you do
okay.
this. Excellent. And you could have chosen any one of these cards.
Yep.
But if I just use my mental powers, I'm seeing it's a red card, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, because they're all red.
Ah!
No, but it's a red card because it's a heart.
It is.
And what's very interesting is that it's also a court card. It's one of the 2 male court cards. It's the Jack of Hearts.
You did it.
Yes!
You did it. I mean, but like,
Yeah.
it's a great way to be able to force something.
Yeah.
I use, in my actual show, I use one of these. I fill it up with balloons, right? Because you know that I do the balloon swallow,
Yeah.
right? So I have a bunch of different colors in there. I have my spectator reach in, and they pull out what they think is any balloon. It's a harmless force. I'm actually forcing a particular color because later on, the balloon comes back in a box, later on in the show. So that's like a clever way that I use it. Now on the video, you're gonna learn a great routine with Rick, where you have a bag full of pennies that all have different, symbols on them, and you're able to figure out which person pulled out which penny. But yeah, you can use playing cards. You can use, I'll show you another like routine that you could do with these coins here.
Okay.
So let me get this open here. So Eric, I have in my fist a bunch of coins.
Okay.
I want you to just reach in there, pull one out. I'm going to tell you what kind of coin you get, but don't let me see it.
Okay, I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
It's silver coin?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not a nickel, it's not a dime, it's a quarter. Is that correct?
Yep, it is.
It's because they're all quarters, Eric.
This is, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when you do tricks with this particular prop, you've got to do those
The
corny
jokes aren't that bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Here, but these are all blank coins,
Yep.
right? So I want you to put your initials on that one.
Okay. Phone home here.
Another great thing about these bags is they're super durable. I mean, you can crumple them up. You can keep these in your pocket. They're fantastic. Here, so show the camera your initials there, and if you would, just drop it in the bag, and then go ahead and shake those up. Because what I'm going to do is, even though those are being mixed, I am going to attempt to reach in that bag and pull out your signed quarter without looking.
Impossible.
Impossible.
I don't believe it.
I'll even do it behind my back.
Really ramping up the difficulty level here.
Yeah, right. So let me reach back here. Actually, here.
No, you got to do it so they can see it.
See it? You want
Yeah.
to see me do it? Okay.
Yeah. I want to see you pull the coin out of the bag so I know there's no shenanigans.
Okay. Let's go with this one. How'd I do?
No way.
E.T.
That is,
Oh, yeah, we'll get that.
that is my
Boom.
coin right there. Check that out.
That's a great routine, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
so these
No,
are.
that's a super solid routine. I can see anybody doing that on stage or in close up, and you know, you are right. These bags are super durable. I really
Yeah.
like them. They're sealed along the bottom, so this feels like a real plastic bag. This bag is gimmicked, so I'm not going to go into exactly how it's gimmicked, but this is really, really well made.
Yeah, you get 2 of them in the bag,
Yeah.
and they do come really flat, so it feels like you don't want to crumple them up a little
Yeah.
bit, because they come really nice. But I promise you, like,
It
there's
looks better.
some.
The illusion is better when it's crumpled up.
There's something really innocent about them.
Yeah.
They almost look like a Ziploc bag, without
Yeah.
the thing at the top, right?
You know, for years there were versions of these bags that were like mesh, because this is based in like another popular style of forcing bag, but because it's like plastic and it feels like a Ziploc bag almost, it's more fair and your audience is just more trustworthy of it.
Yeah. Super great prop.
Yes.
You're going to learn great routines on the download that comes with this by Rick. But also, if you're looking for a really innocent way of forcing or controlling during a mix of something, you can't go wrong with a grab bag by Rick Lax.
Man, fantastic, utility device. I think we got a couple of people making fun of us in the chat. So Alan Morgan over on YouTube saying, "Finally, a way to force a card." And it's, not maybe my go-to way to force a card, but it's a super good. It's a great forcing bag.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned in the video there, I do use one of these in my actual show to force a colored balloon, even though it just feels like a fair choice. People are picking out any balloon out of the bag, but I'm making them pick red for a whole nother reason. So it goes beyond like trying to force a card for sure.
Yeah.
Because this is a way to pretty innocently force whatever can fit in the bag.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it comes with 2 of them, so that if I would only use one of these in a show or even a walk around thing, but if it wears out or I accidentally it's plastic. I mean, if I accidentally I'm shaking up coins and I stretch it or it breaks or something like that. But fortunately, it's not too expensive, and right now you can get them a lot cheaper. It's 25% off if you enter the promo code CoolboxLive at checkout. You're gonna get this for $15 because normally it's 2 of them for 20. So it's great. Yeah,
it was just nice to be able to show everybody exactly what you're getting with that effect, because it's not actually explicitly listed on the product page, but now so if you need some clear forcing bags, they're great ones. You're not going to be disappointed with those, so go grab them for $15.
Yeah, and I was watching the instructional video for it earlier this week after we got done doing this video, and Rick teaches, the pennies trick that Rick teaches is kind of interesting, but he teaches a whole bunch of other stuff with it. Like cards is only one thing. He also goes into slips of paper and some other mentalism ideas, and it's really good. I like it. So, shall we move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. The next thing we are talking about right now is the Penguin Cups by Penguin Magic. This was so much fun to talk about because I have used these cups for years.
Yeah, and I've never actually, we've talked about the Penguin Cups before, and as you know, I'm not really a cups and balls guy.
Yeah.
So I'd never even seen what the Penguin Cup set was. I had no idea. I've heard about it, I've seen it on the website, but we got one ordered, shipped over so that we could take a look at it.
Oh man, guys, take a look at this video of that we did unboxing and breaking down the Penguin Cups.
Hey, Eric Tate here alongside my buddy Nick Lacapo, and today we're going to take a much closer look at the Penguin Cups. I love cups and balls. As a matter of fact, this is a set that I've been using for a long time. Way back when these originally came out, I bought a set and have been using them. We have a brand new set here to show you exactly what you get, and we can take a look at. These are a really nice set
New
of
cups and balls.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's a big day if you're going to get a new set of cups and balls.
Oh yeah. If you're a cup and ball worker or you want to work cups and balls, working with the aluminum cups is a really great training resource. Even the plastic Empire cups are great. But man, when you step up to a really nice set of cups like the Penguin cups,
good.
Feels really good. There's a lot of cool moves that you can do with these that you can't do with any of the others. So let's take a look at it. Because they come in this nice black sort of faux leather bag. This is really durable. This is a great way to carry your cups around. This is the way I carry my cups around when I take them to gigs. Then you need to get this. We're going to come back to these in a little bit more detail a little later. But this little plastic baggie is full of the actual balls. These are nice red crochet knit balls. They're around like a piece of cork, I think is what it is. But these are really nice for using, for performing your cups and balls set with.
Yeah.
And then the actual cups themselves, this is really nice. I like the way that these come wrapped in tissue paper.
Sure.
Just because you know these aren't going to be scratched up or anything, but let's take a look at them. You can
Yeah, I might as well help you out
unwrap
here.
this one here. These, sort of take these here. These are
Whoa.
a very nice set of copper cups.
I'm not used to seeing them that shiny.
I know. Now, the important thing to note about copper cups is that they're going to form a bit of a patina over time. So these are real shiny right
I'll
now.
take those.
These are real shiny right now, but as you continue to use these are going to wear in. So they're gonna take on a nice sort of like a nice patina over them. But man, when you get them, if you want to keep them like this, you can get some copper polish and polish them up. But these are really nice on the outside. They don't follow up with the finish on the inside, but because of the way they nest together, your audience will really never see this. But they're really nice weights. The shape of them is really nice, so you can do things like, roll them around like that. You can even do some of these like the old Vernon moves where you go and set the cups through each other.
Do you not use a wand in your routine?
I don't use a wand in my
Oh,
routine.
interesting, because I was like, you forgot your wand, Eric.
Yeah, no. So a lot of cup and ball workers like to use a wand, but others do not. So a really nice set of heavyweight solid copper cups comes with all of the balls that you need to perform the classic effect. Also comes with an instructional video that'll teach you how to use this. This particular set does not come with a wand, but you can either make your own or get a wand that you prefer that has the qualities that you like. The other nice thing about these is that this is a very popular style of cup. I don't know how familiar you are with the cups and balls, but there's a lot of different sort of design features that go in, and this particular set is based off of a very common design with the rolled lip here and then these two ridges, because there's a lot of different routines that people have made over the years that take advantage of the qualities in this particular cup.
Yeah, same with like the concave top, right?
Yeah.
Because it kind of just allows, you can be pretty, pretty free with throwing the ball on top of there, and it's not going to roll off.
And when you have multiple balls on top of a cup like this, they all sort of come together sort of toward the edge, and so that when you're taking the cup on and off, it appears right there. There's a lot of different thinking that went into the design of these particular cups, and that's why the Penguin cups come this way, is because it's a very popular design that is used in so many routines.
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, they look amazing. You're going to be proud to put this into your show, for sure. It's got all the classic features that you'd want out of a cup with the cups and balls, and you get all these. I like how they're like just a little bit squishy, but they also have like a hard center core on the inside of these as well. So great set for anybody that's just starting to get into cups and balls and want to up your game a little bit.
Yeah, working with these makes you feel like a pro worker, like you're going to be out there with some of the greats doing this, and it really is. This is a set that has lasted me for years, and I still do.
Yeah,
this
is one of the first things you ever got on Penguin, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This
back
is
in 1970.
yeah,
what was that?
Yeah, back way before the internet, but in the early days. Yeah, I've worked with a Penguin set for years. Still use it in my professional shows.
Yeah.
It's a really great set that I'm proud to own, and I think you will too.
Yeah, great price, great product.
Check it out.
Cups.
I don't think I can convey enough how much I love these cups, Nick. This is such a good set.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of the first things you ever got, right? So
Yeah, actually, and while we were waiting, so that's my actual magic cabinet where everything lives right now, and so I thought I'd pull out. This is my set of cups. So this is one of them. Because I was in the video, I was talking about the patina, and we didn't show it, so I wanted to share it with you folks who are watching. So you can polish this back up to a very nice shiny copper, but I sort of prefer the patinaed look. You can see it's a little banged up because I really bang my cups around, but they're still in great condition. I mean, these cups are like 15 years old, 20 years old, because I use them all the time, and they're a fantastic set. Got a question here. Mark DeTulio says, how long is the instructional video and who teaches it?
Great question.
Yep. There is an instructional video that comes with it. It's a pretty brief instructional video, and it is Jay Noblezada teaching it. However, Nick and I are kicking around the idea of maybe putting maybe my routine on there, maybe some other moves that are worth putting on there.
Yeah, so I think because we might film this next week,
Yeah.
and get it on there for you guys. But I'm also thinking maybe I'm gonna bark up the ladder a little bit. See, maybe if we can include some of the Tarbell stuff because
Yeah.
Dan taught whatever the lesson is on cups and balls. So maybe there's a performance that I can rip out of there and put it on here with that because we definitely want to add some more value. So.
Yeah.
If you get it now, that stuff will just be added to your account when we finish it. So.
Yep. And got one more really good question here from the YouTube chat. F the Magician says, do they fit a baseball? They do not. This particular set of cups does not. I fit large lemons and limes when I do this, or like smaller red potatoes. They aren't quite big enough for a baseball. Now, I think Michael Kaminskis makes baseballs that are undersized that you
That's
can add.
probably true. Yeah.
And he's got the fake fruit, too, that I'm actually going to switch to. I've been using real fruit like an idiot for too long, but his...
I have Kaminskis' fake fruit right here, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get a good, I gotta get my face out of it. There you go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is one of his
Man, that looks so good.
fake lemons that he sells. Michael Kaminskis, I don't remember his exact website, but if you search for Michael Kaminskis Magic, he sells,
Yeah, now
cups and balls.
we're talking a little bit about the Penguin Cups, but...
Also, shout out to F the Magician. Eric, you know who that is, right?
No, who's that?
You were hanging out with him earlier.
No kidding. Is that Frank?
Yeah, that's definitely Frank.
Oh, Frank, what's up, man? So in the chat right now, give some love to F the Magician. That is Frank DeVille. We filmed a lecture with him today, and let me tell you, it was an awesome lecture. It was so much fun. It's nice, long. You learn some really wild stuff in that. Let's talk a little bit more about these cups before we move on. So right now, these are obviously 25% off if you enter the promo code CoolboxLive at checkout. So you're gonna get. So these are normally $100. You get them for $75. This deal is good until Friday at midnight. And then I saw in the chat, who was it here? Hungry over on the YouTube saying you guys should get Gazzo to teach his routine for them too. Gazzo actually does teach his routine.
Yeah.
There is a DVD set produced by Penguin, Gazzo on the Street Cups and Balls,
That's
that
right.
features his full routine, including the watermelon out of the hat.
Yeah, see, we got to do some research on this, Eric, and figure out what we got and
Yeah.
what needs to be included on this. And we're going to do a little rehaul of this.
Yeah,
And,
I think so.
If you get, so stay tuned, but you can still pick them up. I mean, you should get them this week because they're going to be 25% off. And then when we finish this instructional video that we're going to do, you'll just get that when it comes out.
Yeah, it's an excellent, excellent set of cups. I really like them. I know a lot of other people who like them. They're really, really nice. Nick, we're about to move into our picks of the week, but before we do that, the chat was just like full of questions for us that I think we should take some time to address before
Let's do it.
we get on there. But one of the questions was, John Hayes. The first question off. I think this is good one to talk about. Was curious why there's some expensive magic tricks that have restrictions, like not being able to have the rights to use them.
Right.
Rights
right.
rights is an interesting thing. Why don't you go first?
Well, like I mentioned at the top of the show, we've at Penguin, I can't name a trick off the top of my head that has these restrictions. So I've never been in one of those discussions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The only time I had ever seen it was, I think Sans Minds was doing it like pretty consistently not that long ago.
They were reserving TV rights.
Right, TV rights.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with just the emergence of all the like talent shows and things
Yeah.
that just didn't exist 10 years ago. I have to imagine he's probably talking about the Oracle system because I think that's the newest one to come out that doesn't have the performance rights
Yeah.
associated with it. I don't particularly mind. If I've never been in that situation where if I'm going on TV, I'm probably not going to do somebody else's trick.
Yeah.
Most likely. So yeah, I just don't even know when that would come up. I know it kind of stinks when you buy it, but I mean, like, I don't know. I would have an issue if it was something that I spent a lot of money on, right?
Yeah.
Like thousands of dollars. If I bought a trick for that much and I couldn't do it in a place that I thought it belonged. But you know, something for $20, $40, I don't know. I don't think it really makes a difference to me.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way you do. I think in general, most of the products that have rights reserved are pretty upfront about that in the ad copy. And I know that there's a few books out there that have some like specific rights reserved. There's a couple of older Ben Earl releases that don't allow performance rights in paid situations, which I think is fair because that's material that he is still using in his in his like formal shows, and he's perfectly fine with you performing them for your friends and family, and just like in impromptu or informal situations. I know the only rights that I reserve for my effects are radio rights, because I'm the only one who will be doing any of my visual card magic on NPR.
Yeah.
There's another good question. Moving on, there was someone asked, did Leonard Green fool you when he was performing some of the material from arrangements?
Talking to me?
Yeah, asking you, because he didn't fool me with them, because I wasn't there.
Yeah, I honestly, so that was filmed. Funny enough, back, I don't know, that's got to be 5 years old minimum.
Yeah,
right?
we should talk a little bit about how that
so
came together.
Well, yeah, when Leonard was here, we filmed those those techniques when he was here, and when we were thinking about releasing it, and let's just say that we filmed this in 2014. Let's just say when we were thinking about releasing it, the quality of the video wasn't up to where we wanted it to be. And just the language barrier with Leonard, and I know a lot of our customers have a hard time sometimes with foreign language accents. It just got shelved. It just got put on the shelf.
This was also at a time when I was sort of like looking back through it, and this was also at a time when there were not very many Penguin releases that were focused specifically on like individual
card
moves.
No, that's a good point.
Like individual moves. Everything that came out, even if the routine was like all about a move, like KFC came out around that time, the Kaminskas fold. But the release was about how to fold a card, but it was in the context of a larger, fuller routine. And this just didn't fit the bill. There weren't any like marquee effects to pitch to
and it's
people.
Leonard. We just didn't want to. We just wanted to put Leonard in the best light, and at the time, it wasn't the right time to release it. Now, funny enough, 2020 happens, and we were forced to really kind of like look at everything we have to keep our production cycle going, right? I remember because you came on board and I'm like, Erik, we got some unreleased Leonard Green stuff kicking around. You should think about taking a look at that. And then you just took the project from there.
Yeah. So Nick baited me is what he did, because he knows how much I love Leonard Green. And when he told me there was unreleased Leonard Green footage, the first thing I did was went and look it up, because as you guys know, Penguin films a lot of stuff. I don't think you guys understand how much we film. And I'm actually the one who manages our film archive. So I have at my fingertips literally everything that has been filmed in the P3 Magic Theater since the beginning. So I frequently go looking through it just for my own edification and entertainment. And when Nick told me about this, I looked it up and I looked at the material, and I realized that this could be a good project. And lately, within the last few releases, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Nick and I appear frequently on other people's releases where we introduce it, but we also come back and sometimes we'll tidy it up a little bit. Like maybe we'll teach something that wasn't necessarily taught in the beginning, or if there might be a language barrier problem, we'll sort of help it along. I know I've done that with recently the Bernard Billis trick, the 4 Jokers that came out. I do some explanation there. I also did it on Jack EU's Freak, and Nick's done it on just countless videos.
I don't even know how many.
And it helps to provide more value to the customer, because sometimes when we're editing this, because Nick and I edit a lot of the projects you guys watch, we realize what this needs to make it more valuable to the customer. And I brought this to the team and said, I think I know what to do, is for me to explain my handlings of this as well as clarify some of Leonard's stuff. Because I think Leonard teaches it brilliantly, but in order to give more value, there's the 1-2 separation is very overlooked. I don't know a lot of people who know about it. As a matter of fact, I got a few very angry Facebook messages. Now everyone knows about the 1-2 separation. What have you done? And but my handling of it includes a method where you're doing the separation in the hand, which is something that Leonard has never done. And so it's a way for me to share some of my work while also paying tribute to Leonard, whose work I revere. So it was a lot of fun to put together, and I was very excited that we got so many positive responses when it came out.
Yeah, and it's called Arrangements. It's on Penguin Magic right now. It's in the bestsellers list. It's $10. You should definitely check it out, especially if you're not familiar with Leonard's stuff.
So good.
I'm actually really jealous if you've never seen Leonard's stuff, because you're gonna be hooked. Did he fool me? Of course, it's Leonard Green. Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, you can. There's moments in this where you can tell what Nick is going on, but there's also moments where you can tell that Nick has no idea what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen a lot of his stuff, so I was just letting But I think I was just more in awe of sitting at a table with Leonard Green. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm actually invited to the table during Leonard's Penguin Live, And oh man, is it? It's a treat. You can watch me being a child during that. There's one other question I wanted to address here in the chat before we get to it, and it's somebody asked if we have ever added anything non-magical to our acts, like contact juggling.
Well, actually, I added contact juggling to my act.
Yeah.
No, I use a contact juggling ball as a crystal ball in a mentalism routine I do, and I contact juggle with it. I don't use it as a crystal ball. I use it as a fushigi ball, hoping that somebody in the audience has heard of such a thing before. So I just do a few moves with it like that. What else do I use on my show? What do you got? Anything? Oh yeah, you got a few.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. So people may not know this about me, but I was not originally a magician. I actually started off as a juggler, and I have done juggling inside of my magic show at various points. I also eat fire, and I've done that in a couple different things. And what is the other thing that I do is I've done human blockhead a couple of times, so I've added some sideshow stuff here and there.
Yeah, the only other things I can think of is I had that painting routine for a while where I was doing a speed painting.
Yeah, the painting was a lot of fun.
Just digging through the old routines lately, because this week on YouTube, I know my top 10 closers video is coming out apparently. Yeah. So I was like going through a lot of old footage over the past couple of days, and man, it's amazing how much stuff I used to do in that show. So yeah, the one that comes to mind definitely is the contact juggling ball. Yeah. I like it as a crystal ball. It's really cool, especially if you can just do a couple cool moves with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a master, just a couple isolations, and it looks really neat.
Frank DeVille over here in the YouTube chat's talking about pen spinning works really well with wands. Speaking of cups and balls, Frank's over here keeping us on task. But let's move on to the picks of the week, and I think my picks are up first. Yeah, so let's talk about picks of the week here. So my top picks of the week, we're going to start off with number 3 here, is Born to Perform Card Magic by Oz Perlman, and I gotta say this. I really like this. I have talked about this DVD in the past, and I super duper like it. This is, if you've never done card magic before, this is a really excellent video because Oz assumes that you don't know anything. So he teaches you double lifts, he teaches you false shuffles, he teaches you, palming cards and all of the fun stuff. But what's so good about this is that Oz is also a phenomenal card magician. Before he was doing mentalism like he was doing on AGT, Oz was actually like low-key known for his card magic. And there's some really, really good stuff on here. There's I think I need to bring it up over here in the in my little window. But I think Red Hot Mama is taught on here. I think.
Oh yeah, it's got to be like Red Hot Mama, probably like Dr. Daly's Last Trick, Ambitious Card. Probably like the circus card trick, like all the great stuff.
Yeah, there's 7 full-length routines on here, but there's also 5 super visual flourishes and a whole bunch of different sleights that Oz teaches you. This is really, really good magic. If you don't own this and you like card magic, I highly recommend it. Just learning from Oz, and I mean, he really was one of the pioneers of early teaching magic in a visual format and for downloads, and it's super duper good. I know he teaches the ambitious card stuff on here, and it's all good. It's all really, really good stuff. I highly recommend it. Yeah,
I think it's one of the best. You get that question from your friends and family all the time, especially around the holidays. Like, my nephew's into card magic or card tricks. What do I get him? Buying this DVD is my go-to response for people. Like, if you want to learn card tricks, here it is. It used to be, and it still is. It's easier to recommend Oz's thing, like Easy to Master Card Magic series by Michael Lamar. But this is just condensed into one DVD. So you can get this as a download or a DVD. And I think it's a great gift to give to somebody. Yeah. So, and especially for 25% off. Yeah. Right now, if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for 25% off. It's like $22 and change. And one thing really to mention too is that it's not an old Penguin Magic video. It used to be like at one point, shot on the blue wall and all that, the old school Penguin. we refilmed this with O's live performances in Las Vegas on the Strip back in 2013. So it's fairly recent. It looks great.
I actually
Doesn't
didn't
look
know
like
that.
an old Penguin. Yeah, no, it's completely remastered.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's super good.
You haven't seen the new one?
No, I haven't seen the new one. I've got the old one in the closet over there. It's super good. Let's move on to my next pick. This is Easy Oil and Water by Nate Cranzo. And I have to say, so we filmed this last year with Nate. We were able to take him out to a bar. And what you're seeing on the video between us is the single greatest reaction to an oil and water effect that has ever been captured on film.
It's true. That's fact.
It's so good. What this is
I mean,
Nate.
Tamariz might have something to say about that, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Tamariz may not have caught the reaction on film, though, is the thing. Is like, because this is, I remember filming this. I'm on the wide camera in this particular thing, and that dude freaked out. Like, when you watch these reactions that we're filming and putting into a Penguin Magic demo, I think what you guys need to know is that we're not coaching these people. We're not saying, hey, we need big reactions for this. Can you, like, literally the process is we walk into a bar, I walk up to somebody and I go, hey, we have a magician here. He's from Michigan. He's really wonderful. Can you please, would you guys like to see some magic? We're going to film them. And when they say yes, I go, great, go get him, Nate. And Nate walks up and just wrecks them. So you're seeing real reactions to this. Let's talk about the effect, though. This is a small packet oil and water, uses just a couple of cards, and there's a very simple procedure that Nate walks them through. Basically, the audience does all the work for you. This is really easy to learn. There's no gimmicks. You don't need like extra cards or anything like that. I think there's almost no sleights. It's a really interesting routine that if you do oil and water, you should definitely add this to your repertoire so you have it as an optional in the phase. If you don't do oil and water, this is a great entry point into an excellent plot.
Exactly that, right? If you don't already do one, this is perfect for you to learn. Especially because, I mean, we have some other favorite oil and waters on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I know that, I think, was it on the last week's show, the Oil and Water Extreme, or 2 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago, because last week was the big physical product show.
Right. So,
Yeah.
like, if you're just getting into it, this is a one to check out. And then also, like, if you look at Extreme Oil and Water Extreme, that one's like all sleight of hand. So,
Yeah.
like, you get both ends of the spectrum. And of
Yeah.
course, if you're a collector of the methods, you might as well get this one. Nate always has great routines,
Yeah.
well thought out, well structured, with good lines, and he knows how to get reactions out of people. So there's all of that to learn.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're just like learning the method behind oil and water, it can be hard to actually present to somebody, right? To get a strong reaction out of them, because it can often be just something that you almost perform to yourself. But it's not. It doesn't have to be. You can actually do this in a walk around scenario and get great response.
Yeah, it's an awesome trick, and you can get it a little cheaper. It's normally $10, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you can get it for $7. It's super good. I think you guys will like it. I've yet to discuss the method on this with another magician and have them be disappointed. It's some pretty cool stuff. That brings me to my top pick this week. That is Presence by G. I was really excited for this to come up in the list. This is so cool. So if you're new to the show, and Nick and I's picks, we get a list of tricks that we can pick to give you guys great deals on. And Nick and I each go through and we find our favorites. And this was my standout favorite this week. I remember when this came out last year. It's so good. What this is you have a stack of business cards, you take one out and you have somebody write down their initials or a word or whatever it is. And then you take that and you have them put their hand down on the table, and then you wave a lighter behind the card, and the writing on it vanishes. Then you tear the card up and you press it on the top of their hand, and you ask them if they can feel the energy. And when they say yes, they lift their hand off the table, and imprinted on the table is whatever they wrote. It is so good. This is one of those amazing bar tricks that people will never forget.
Unbelievable trick.
Yeah.
Big reactions. I mean, it's in the world of any of these ink transferring tricks like double cross. It's very similar to double cross. That's the type of reaction that you can expect out of this routine. But you just get that extra kicker ending of, it's what they wrote. I mean, it's like what they thought of is on the table.
Yeah, and so if you don't know who G is, that is because he is an amazing magician out of China. He does a lot of consulting work on a lot of the really fantastic magic on television over there. He wears the same outfit 24/7. He only goes by G.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but G is also, I believe he's 320 something years old. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, there's
great.
There's no footage of him online that doesn't exist, like through Penguin or something like that. It's
Yeah,
there's
he's fascinating.
yeah.
He had a Penguin Live lecture that is
So
just
good.
absolutely loaded with some incredible magic, just like this, like
Yeah.
super visual and super impossible. Fascinated when G was here.
Yeah.
So just fascinated. And this trick is
So good.
super powerful. What is
Yeah.
the price on this, Eric?
So normally it's 20, but if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for 15. And I should say this comes with supplies.
Right.
But when you learn
Well,
the
I think-
method on this, like I've actually done this like on the fly. I've like set this up with stuff that I had in my pockets. I
Right.
don't
Well,
want
I
to give
mean,
away too much because it's so
Well,
super
we can
good.
we can be pretty clear on, like, you're going to get a special pen
Yeah.
in the mail. And the pen is only, and I think a lot of you probably aware of what I'm talking about. The pen is only in play to make the ink vanish on the card.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the method of getting whatever that is written from the business cards onto the table, you don't need any special gimmicks for. You just need the business cards, your lighter, and whatever else you're going to use throughout the routine.
Hungry in the YouTube chat is asking a good question. That looks amazing, but does the ink come off the table?
Yes.
You can get the ink off the table. Yes.
Yes.
So I wouldn't do this in like a super upscale restaurant.
Yeah.
Because you are putting ink on a table, but it's really good. It's really
Yeah.
good. And I should say that I want to make sure that I'm not revealing methods here inadvertently or talking out of. The download is an hour long, and G goes into dealing with a lot of different table types and materials and like what to do to prepare for that. So like, if you're in a situation where the table is just like, like my desk where it's like black metal or black laminate or wood bar top, glass, he goes through a whole bunch of different stuff. He's very, very thorough.
Yeah, I put this in the same category as like card unsealing.
Yeah.
Right, where it's once it's you might be nervous to put a card in the ceiling, but the truth is, like, once it's up there, the people that work there or wherever you are usually thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Same can go with this. If you're doing it for the right person, do you know what I mean? They can actually, make something out of it. And if you structure the routine correctly, right? Like, don't just have them write down anything. Make them write down something that would be important for them to be on the bar, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's like write down the name of your favorite regular or something like that. So then somebody else's name that's important ends up on the bar. If you're in a bar room or something, nobody cares. you know? But obviously if you're at a corporate gig or something a little bit more upscale, you just don't do this trick. It's just fine.
Yeah.
It's not you don't have to. You can just do it in the right scenario. Just like card unsealing.
Yeah, you're gonna love this trick. It's
so good.
really wonderful. This is one of those that like I might start doing this instead of double cross. Like it's very much in that vein of like, oh man, this is wild. Like people will never forget this.
Yeah, you need the table. The table, but I mean, it's not a card trick, and it's somewhere in the mentalism. I mean, and you could even do this. I'm just riffing here, so I'm not even sure because I can't even remember exactly what he teaches on there. But I mean, you could turn it into a mentalism routine, right? Where you secretly peek the information, reveal it, and then it ends up under their hand, or do a drawing duplication first instead of just like the straight, to the table thing. So because it uses business cards.
Yeah, because this is a great way to.
Are endless.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here. Let's move on. Before we get to Nick's picks, I got one good question here from Nestor Sosa on Facebook. It says, "Are we restocking on Bernard Bellis, the Four Jokers?" Yeah, that's going to be. We are going to be.
out?
Yeah, I just checked the website, and I'm actually glad to see that so many people hopped on that. So yeah, we will be restocking. I don't have the information on when that will be, but
Wow.
yeah. I think people just leaped all over it. So,
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's Bernard Bellis. It's a really good trick.
Yeah, no, it was refreshing. There was a couple comments on there. I read one guy's comment about how he loves packet tricks, and this is like one of the best he's seen in a long time. I was just like,
Yeah.
maybe I was just I watched too much Magic. I mean, I know it's a good trick, but I've maybe seen too many packet tricks in my day to see like the true greatness.
Yeah, like one of the comments on here is just actually a guy named Sean Robinson says, "I love this. I'm a huge advocate for packet tricks. It's immediately
Robinson,
going in my
yeah.
walk around set."
Yeah, Robinson did a Penguin Live lecture way back in the day.
Yeah, it's super good. But now we're going to be moving on to Nick's top 3 picks, and
Nick's picks.
Nick's picks. Nick, you're talking about
Yeah.
"Clear Through" by Lonnie Chevry.
Yeah, my number 3 this week should be number 1. I don't know. Is Lonnie Chevry's "Clear Through." If you've listened to me talk on this show at all, you know that I love the tricks that there's just no reason for you to not know how to do. And this is one of them, because all you need is a borrowed bill. That's it. You take your pointer finger and you fold the bill up in a certain way. I'm sure you can see the footage between us, and you just shove it right through the bill, rip the bill out, off to the side, a la Misled or like pen through dollar. And then you just restore the bill. So it's a finger through bill that is completely restored and has a stunning visual. The best part is zero gimmicks, zero get ready. There's no secret folds. The folds that you're doing are just the folds that you're doing in front of the spectators. It's just a perfect piece. It's like a perfect illusion, just a perfect trick from one of my favorite magicians, Lonnie Chevry, who comes up with, classics like nobody else. But that's it. That's really all you need to know. The method's amazing. It's couldn't be any easier.
I hate how good Lonnie Chevry is.
Yeah.
I feel like that at the end of the day for me, I'm just like, you are so clever, and I want to eat your brain to gain its power. Is this a Halloween show suddenly? It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, and I hadn't even touched. Like, again, I love the tricks that you just store in your brain, and then you can just do it whenever you want. Because the secret here is so simple.
Yeah, because you showed
But
it
I
to
saw
me.
it on the list. Yeah, I picked it up. That was probably the first time I had done it in years, and I'm like, I can't believe how good this looks. It's such a good secret.
Really, really good question in the chat from Hungry. Lonnie has some awesome releases, but this one I can't do with is this one I can do with Canadian money? It's plastic. Yeah, you could do this with Canadian money.
Yeah,
This has nothing to do with the qualities of the bill.
Right. Yeah, you just need to be able to
You got to be able to do some stuff.
Yeah, so like the bill just needs to be able to do this, but you can hold that, right?
Yeah.
So even if it's like plastic wants to spring open, you don't have to like rely on it being a sharp fold. And then the top of the bill needs to come down a little bit, just because you need enough room for your finger to go all the way in, right? So, but all of that can be managed with your hand, right? Because I'm just basically holding the 2 folds that you would need to do out of there. So I think anything would work.
Nick, the YouTube chat has come to the rescue here. Alan Morgan says that he does it with Australian money.
Okay, great.
He even mentions it was taught as a bonus on a particular effect called Just Passing Through, and it was better than the main effect.
Yes, that's that it is a little bit older, so it did go back, but this recently I was saying our video footage, we've been talking about video footage, and some of the best stuff we ever filmed was the Lonnie Chevry stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
So this was refilmed around 2014, I want to say. It looks amazing. Lonnie just focuses in on this one trick, and you're right. This bonus trick was better than the main trick
so
on Just
good.
Passing Through back in the day. It's just one of the best pieces of impromptu magic ever.
And if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout, you're going to get it for a little bit cheaper. It's normally $10. You can get it for just over $7. It's super duper good.
Yeah, so that's number 3 on my list this week. Number 2 of my top picks this week is Toy Box by Jonathan Cam. This was essentially what this routine is a signed card to Altoids mint tin, right? This has been approached. What year did all this stuff come out? Was this like 2018? There was the run on the Altoids.
Yeah, it was
Altoids magic.
2018 was the year that everyone was putting stuff in metal boxes. It's
Yeah. Well, Jonathan kind of, in my opinion, wrote he sealed the door shut with this release. This originally came out on the Penguin Magic Partner Program. To my knowledge, this is the best-selling Penguin Magic Partner Program trick ever. So I believe this is number one, and for good reason. This is Jonathan Cam's complete work on his walk around Card to Impossible location routine. He's a restaurant worker, and it shows because
This is so
the
good.
level of detail that he goes into on this download is incredible. Basically, what you're getting is his like every table set where the card, it's kind of like an ambitious card routine mixed in with some other things where the card will be here and there, and then all of a sudden it ends up in the mint tin. All right, and then he brings it back out and it ends up in the mint tin again. So it's kind of got like some repeat processes to it. It's not just like a direct signed card to mint tin. There's a whole lot more going on, and he gives you like multiple phases that you can, you know, add in or out, so you can kind of create your own routine with this thing. But the thing to know about it is that his is gimmickless, right? Like the Altoids tin that you use is just the same one that you get at the store, and you don't have to do anything to it.
Yeah.
I think he's got a couple like modifications that he does to it just to make it maybe easier to open. I can't quite remember, so don't quote me on that. None of it has anything to do with the trick. You can do it with one right off the shelf. I remember I sat down with, it was like a Friday night. I sat down with Brandon Gerald, my buddy Brandon. Shout out to Brandon if you're out there. But where we sat down, we worked on this for an entire night, and I was just blown away with how thought out it was as if, I guess it was as if he'd been doing it for 20 years, put it that way. It looked like something that was just the full work on it.
Yeah. So in the YouTube chat, Boomin is pointing out someone did bring this up in the chat last week. They were saying, hey, you should get Toy Box. And we both chuckled to each other because we knew it was coming up this week.
Right.
It's been in the Cool Box before, but we're glad to have it back. Hungry is saying that this has expert tuition on the Mercury fold and has several slights with the tin where it like happens twice, which is really cool.
Yes.
And now Boone is asking a really good question. Is it kind of like an ambitious deep dive with the tin kicker, but you can sub your own kicker if you want to? You do get into the ambitious card on this, but really what we're talking about here is a folded card to impossible location, heavily focused on the mint tin, which is, this is a very deep dive specifically on getting a folded card into an ungimmicked mint tin. He talks about some stuff that you can change to the mint tin, like Nick was saying, but really, oh man, there's so much good stuff that you can do with this. I mean,
I like it that it's not beginner level. All right. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
This is actually because you would argue that the methods that he's using are the methods that you're supposed to be using for this type of trick. Like this is it. This is what you're supposed to know how to do if you want to get into this mint tin or, you know, mystery box style presentation.
The other thing to point out is that this is the Toy Box like card to mint tin system. This really is a system in that like he has systematically figured out how to do just a wild array of stuff from, you know, hey, look at this box, there's something inside it, we'll get back to that later, to look at this empty box, here it is, to look, this box is full of mints and now it's full of cards. I mean, it's just, it is very systematic and well thought out. We can't bring that up enough.
Yeah, this should have, honestly, this is one of those things that could have been a $40 project.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little surprised it's not more. And you can get it cheaper right now. Normally this is $20, and today, if you enter the promo code CoolBox Live at checkout, you can get it for $15. It's just amazingly good.
Yep.
Nick, that brings us to number one.
Yeah, number one, and I like to have this on the show whenever possible because it's just, in my opinion, the one utility device that you have to have, and that is the Raven by Penguin Magic. And all of us on the team here. It is basically a device that allows you to vanish and produce and transform and change and do all sorts of stuff that you can see in the video between us.
This is one of my favorite. I'm just gonna say this is one of my favorite things to talk about on the show, just because I love how cool the trailer looks. It's so much fun to play for people.
Yeah, so all that stuff that you're seeing in between there is easy to do, and you're gonna get a device that you have to wear, and it's gonna go into a longer sleeve. I also show you how you can do it with your short sleeves and a button-up shirt as well. But it's a device that lives in your jacket, and it comes in and out of play secretly, invisibly, where you can make things impossibly vanish or produce whatever. I mean, if you really want to highlight a vanish or a moment in a show, look, I think a lot of us know that the Raven's been out for a couple decades now, popularized by Blaine when he did it on on his Street Magic special.
Yeah, he performs it for Ryan Schlutz, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I think-
that's
yeah,
right.
I
Shout
think
out
it's
to
for
Ryan
Ryan Schlutz.
A lot of people don't know that. But yes, so after he vanished the quarter off Slutz's hand back then, I know that everybody wanted a Raven. And when you got one back in the day, like I did, you look at it, you try to set it up, you read the piece of paper that it comes with, and then it just went in your drawer most likely. I mean, I know I brought mine around a little bit, but I just never used it because I didn't know the real power of it, which is what I tried to address on this instructional video. So now the video, my intention was to make you use it because I don't want you to not use it. It's too easy to just let it sit in your jacket. No reason to ever take it out. And that way, when you're just out and about, you're like, oh, I got a Raven on me. It's kind of exciting. Leave a big magnetic coin stuck to it, so you can do some cool stuff.
So want to address a couple of things in the chat. First of all, Mark Tertulio says that the Raven is worth getting just for Nick's new instructions. I want to get back to that in a moment. Kevin Lawrencell in the Facebook says, I bought Raven years ago. Can I just get the instructional portion if I have the Raven? And the answer is yes. If you search for the Raven on penguinmagic.com, there is the Raven starter kit. There is also the Raven video only. So if you already have the Raven, you can get that. Now, the discount that we're talking about right now doesn't apply to the video. The video is $20, but you can get
Try
that.
it anyway. Who knows?
Yeah. And then there's another really good question in here from Daniel Cullen. What exactly is the difference between Raven and Raven 2? So Raven 2 is out of stock right now. We are manufacturing the Raven, but Raven 2 was a larger version of it.
Arguably not as good. Is that the one with the double Raven in it?
Yeah, it's basically a double Raven. Yeah. The idea was that you could vanish something and then also use some friction to sort of remove stuff from it. I think we're gonna do some more videos on the Raven at some point where we talk about some of the changes.
We actually Penguin we have the rights to the original Chaz Pro line as far as I'm aware.
Yes.
So we've had several meetings on because the Raven ended up having like all sorts of different random accessories and expansions and things. Look, there's nothing better than the original Raven in that entire line, in my opinion. We are going to start implementing some more things. I teased it a little bit earlier a few months ago that probably, and I would say 95% sure that this year we're going to start releasing some expansion packs for the Raven. And I mean like just cool stuff to use with it. Like for example, like a Raven coin kit so that you can get all the different shells and magnetic coins that you want, but also maybe using some like cool magnetic objects that you wouldn't normally have, like maybe like a little tiny magnetic mint or something like that, right? So those things will be coming along in the future this year. So it'd be a great time to pick up a Raven so you can be in on all the cool stuff for a little bit cheaper, right? Because you're gonna get $10 off of it today.
And let's address the video real quick. Something it's worth bragging on Nick a little bit for this, because in the original Raven video that Chuck Leach made, there is an interesting move that allows you to show your hands front and back, because this is one of the things that. It's a lot of people didn't like. They thought that you had to get in and then your hands were like this and locked in. That's not true. Nick did a really good job doing the work on explaining what this looks like, where you can show the front of your hand and show you the back of your hand while the Raven is engaged. And Nick goes pretty deep in on like how a lot of that stuff works.
Yeah, that's the so if you're out there, you're gonna get that video. I'm excited for you because you're gonna get a move that you've just never seen. I didn't even know about it until I watched that Chuck Leach thing. I'm like, man, what is this? Nobody knows this move. Damn, Chuck. So it's funny because when I use the Raven, I almost never ditch it up my sleeve.
Yeah,
I'll vanish something like in all these clips that you're seeing here. When I'm turning my hand over, I haven't ditched the Raven. It's actually still in play. You might even be able to see like the little indent on the tip of my middle finger if you look close, because you don't need to. I like to show my hands empty. So whatever object disappears, then I show my hands empty to show my spectator that whatever's gone. And then when we relax and I drop my arms, that's when I'll ditch it up my sleeve, because this move allows you to do that. You don't have to actually get rid of it. It can hide safely on the backside of your hand, and you'll learn how to do that exactly on the video.
And I gotta say, I don't think we go into it too much on this video, but we're always talking about making supplemental videos. The thing that I love the Raven for is changes, because I think that everyone is really focused on the vanishes that you can do with the Raven. I love using it to change stuff. There's some really great ideas that I know have been played with for changing the color of a card, or like changing a coin into a dollar bill, or taking a bunch of like torn up pieces of card and then restoring it into a card. There's some really neat stuff, and I don't want to, if you think about how the Raven works and put my gestures together, you can probably figure out what I'm talking about with it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, some of the stuff you can do. It's now, let's see, John Bowman says, what specifically do I need to get with the Raven to produce and vanish $4 silver at once, like Nick does in the video?
Yeah, that was the bottom. I think they're halves.
Yes.
Couldn't have been dollars. Dollars would have been huge.
Yeah.
They're halves. The bottom half is a magnetic half. So the other three are not. So I have them stacked on the bottom side of my Raven. So when I'm producing them, I'm just spreading the coins across my hand, right? And then I'm stacking them back up, and then that bottom magnetic half is just grabbing them all up. Super dope.
I feel like
on the video.
I feel like we could do like a whole seminar on like mixing magnetic and non-magnetic items with the Raven, because that's something that I don't think people explore enough. And there was an old product that I worked with years ago that was very similar, that allowed you to do stuff like that, and it doesn't take much thought to extend it with the Raven.
Yeah, I was thrilled when I came up with that sequence, because I was just like, does this work? Oh my God, it works. This looks amazing. I love the, what is his name? The Prodigy by Alex Geyser.
Yeah.
Alex Geyser, where he makes like the $9.50 appear at his fingertips. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So that's where that was inspired from, because I was just like, man, I would love to be able to do something like Alex does, except without all of his crazy sleight of hand. And that's kind of where that came from. It's a fantastic sequence, doable. I would suggest for video only, but doable.
John's got a follow-up question here. He says, I use dollars, regular coins, not shells. The answer to your question is Nick used halves in that. You could do this with dollars if you had dollars that interacted with the Raven.
Yeah, and if your hand was big enough. I think that's why I say I don't know if I could have $4 in my hand like that.
Yeah, and you could use shells, but those are not shells in that video. Those are all real stuff. And let's see, the only other question is Magic Caleb. Sorry, I got there in the end on YouTube, asking, ever use it for a Matrix routine? I haven't, but it's a neat idea.
Oh, Caleb, you're going there. Like basically, so I haven't, but in my brain, I want to have two Ravens and see what's possible for a Matrix, right? You got to have those on both hands for that routine. Whatever the routine ends up being, it'll be insane.
Yeah.
That's where the double Raven comes in. Gonna play with it sometime this year, though.
Yeah. I think that's going to do it for this week, Nick. Once again, you get another promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout to get the Raven for 25% off. It's normally $40. This week, you can get it for $30. On the deals that we talked about this week, and I'm going to throw the schedule up while we talk about this. Everything that we talked about tonight is over here on... I'm going to figure out how to do this perfectly the first time. Right there. Everything we talked about is there. Talked about the Penguin Cups, which is a really great set of cups for cups and balls. Also comes with the balls as well. Grab Bag by Rick Lax. Then my top three picks: Born to Perform Card Magic by Oz Perlman, Easy Oil and Water by Nate Kranzo, and of course Presents by G, which is just a miracle of an effect. And then Nick's top picks: Clear Through by Lonnie Chevry. The I should really make this bigger. So, Toy Box by Jonathan Cam, and then of course The Raven, which we keep singing the praises of. And then the other thing that we talked about this week was 13 Steps to Mentalism by Richard Osterlin. The one thing that you guys need to know is that everything that we talked about in tonight's show is 25% off everything that was planned. I know we mentioned some other products that it's not going to apply to, like Arrangements, for example. It does not get that code. But everything on the menu next to me right here is 25% off if you enter the promo code CoolBoxLive at checkout. And those deals are good all week until Friday. So on Friday, we take everything down and we turn everything over for the next show.
Yeah. Don't sleep on 13 Steps either. That's $60 off until Friday. So if you've ever wanted to get that, this is the week for sure. So you got till Friday to figure that one out.
We got a lot more fun stuff coming out for you guys next week. Nick and I are going to be talking about more things, doing more of these unboxing videos.
A 2020 award winner on the show next week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
We got something that won an award. So that people have been asking us for stuff like that. So we got one of those for you coming up.
I'll answer one more question here before we go. John Bowman says Raven Starter or Raven Deluxe. You want to get the Raven Starter Kit. That's the one to go with.
Yeah, is Deluxe like an old product or something?
I think there's some very old Raven products on there. I think a lot of them are out of stock. The Deluxe Raven Kit with DVD is out of stock.
And this would be a question for the chat, Eric.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, like we on Penguin, when you search for stuff, there is a lot of like old sold out things. And at some level, they're there almost for like archival reasons, right?
Yeah.
Is that annoying to everybody out there, or do you like it? Do you like being able to find like old stuff, even though you know it doesn't exist anymore? You at least have like a page where you can see like this thing did once exist. Just curious about that because we are kind of crossing some of those bridges behind the scenes right now.
Yeah. And by the way, please keep tuning in and asking us questions in the chat. I really like that. I like being able to sort of take a break in the middle from talking about the deals to answer your questions because we really like talking to you guys.
And has anybody noticed the video player improvement on Penguin Magic yet? I'm curious. You know, not that we might not have a lot of video heads out there, but things have been in a higher resolution over the last about a month or so.
Yeah, one of the things that you guys may not know is that we have been slowly updating the lectures. I'm not sure if they're live yet, but they will be soon. A lot of the lectures are going to be coming back out in 1080p, but that's not going to cost you anything extra. That's just going to show up in your account. If you've already owned a lecture, it's going to be in 1080 soon. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure some of them are, but I haven't seen anybody talking about it. But
Mr. McMahon on YouTube is. Mr. McMahon on YouTube has noticed. He says the videos are much better, and much is in capitals.
Yes, yeah. It's funny when you look at them now because you're just like, oh yeah, we do film this stuff in the highest resolution possible. It's just our website wasn't able to handle it before.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting changes coming to all that soon, and right now. So yeah.
The last thing I got is John Hayes asks, "Is there DVD on magnetic rings?" I don't know off the top of my head.
Magnetic rings, like what?
Like a PK ring.
Oh,
do you know any good PK
what happens
ring
when you
sources?
type PK ring into
I'm just bringing it up. You know what? There's the Wizard PK ring DVD. Has some stuff in there, and that is currently in stock. It's $23. And then I think there is the Kinetic PK ring by Jim Trainer is got some good stuff. I actually own a Kinetic PK ring. That's the one that I use.
I haven't seen a good one like in a long time. Like I'm sure those ones are fine. I can't even think of like anybody that I would point to that uses one.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a project for you and I in the future because I know we both own them.
I'm fascinated by the PK ring. There's so many things that are possible with it, and I haven't seen a good I haven't seen like the PK ring project hasn't been out in a long time. You know what I mean? Whatever it is.
Maybe something for us to work on. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks for watching. We will be back next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On behalf of Nick Lacapo and everybody else at Penguin Magic, we'll see you next time.